Mr. McCoy, BKW Chemistry.
I can look that up in literal YouTube, and it'll come up.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Yeah, get notifications
I've been out
every
like
day.
12
I know,
Yeah,
that's
no.
why I record. You guys gotta check it out.
I
get
get
notifications
notifications
every
for the
day.
videos.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm screwing around. It's just so you don't get behind. It helps. Are we done?
Yeah.
We got it? We learned it? We're good? Amanda, what do we got? Which one is saturated?
The number 3.
Number 3 is saturated. Very good. This is saturated. Very good. How do you know?
Because it's like when you like look at the point, it's like right on the line.
Good. It's right on the line. So you go to 20 degrees, you go to 32, and that puts me right on the line. So one thing I want you to memorize, with table G, on the line is saturated. That phrase, on the line is saturated. Why? Because on that line is the maximum amount you can dissolve at that temperature. No more, no less, right on the line is the maximum amount. So on the line is saturated. You need to memorize that. Sell them. Which one is unsaturated?
The first one.
Number 1 is unsaturated. And again, the definition is less than the max. So, if I'm at 20 degrees and I go up to 30, that puts me right here. I haven't reached the line yet. That means I can still add more. So since it's under the line, it is unsaturated. So I want you to memorize that. Under the line, unsaturated. On the line, saturated. And then by default, Kara, what's this? Supersaturated. And the same logic. Now I'm above the line, and that's 40 grams, right? Is that what I said? Yeah. So 40 is above the line. Therefore, I added more than what this chart says I can add, right? This chart's telling me the max is 32 grams. So if I want to add more than 32, I am exceeding that. That's called supersaturated. So that would be above the line. So on the line is saturated, below the line is unsaturated, above the line is supersaturated. Make sense? Good. All right. I'm going to explain one more thing, and then I'm going to show you the video. The video reiterates this. It's like a music video. It's kind of crazy. I think there's cats involved. It's kind of funny. It's a video that kids always remember from this class because I show it like 6 times. Because it has like a little jingle and it helps you memorize this. All right, here's a question for you guys. How many grams, so I'm going to make a jump here and see if you kind of follow. How many grams of, let's go with KClO3 are needed to make a saturated solution at 80 degrees Celsius. So again, we're using table G. I left off some information. Like on a Regents, it would say, according to table G, how many grams? So they would start it off with, according to reference table G, how many grams of KClO3 are needed to make a saturated solution at 80 degrees? And that's kind of like part A. Part B, my next question, and then I'll show you the video. If the temperature drops or decreases to 62 degrees Celsius, how many grams will precipitate out of solution? Out of solution. And when I write precipitate out of solution, what that means is how many grams will crystallize. That's the rock candy thing I was talking about. If you heat it up, it will all dissolve. If you let it cool down, you're going to start seeing clouds and crystals and solid forming. That's what question B is asking. So question A, you're making a saturated solution. Then you take that solution and cool it down. Well, not all of it's going to be able to dissolve anymore because you're decreasing the temperature. How many grams precipitate? So we'll go over these two, then I'll show you the video, and then we'll see what we have left for time. So take a couple minutes here, do these on your own. I want you to then pair up. Hey.
It said how many grams will precipitate, so I'm guessing that means 30 grams, 44. Because then that'd be how many grams precipitation. But I'm not positive.
Yeah, I don't know. So I just put 30 because it was what it said on the thing.
But then I was thinking,
Can I go first or minus?
I did that. I'm not. I
supposed to do a
subtracted
math,
that.
I got 14.
Yeah, I was like, well, it makes sense because there wouldn't be 14 grams.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, guidance will be here, right? You're gonna be over there? Maybe we just go over there, right?
Well, yeah, so what I'm gonna get to it. What piece of it? Four or 10 seconds. And our room has to be closed down. Walk away, walk back.
It's just counterintuitive. It's like hard to. All right.
So that's, I just give.
No, I'm glad you let me know because I didn't know that. I didn't even look really at the date. I knew where it was at the end. Now because it's worse.
It's bad this year. Because it rolls, into that next week.
I don't think it's just like rotate. Like with the core subjects, it's like have a system and then every year shift it.
The thing I don't get is I'm looking at the schedule, there's all these blanks.
Right.
The week before. I don't know if you get in.
All right.
Get it.
Yeah, that's frustrating. All right, thanks. All right, what do we got for Ed? What's the answer? What is it?
44 grams.
44. Let's find out. So we go to 80 degrees. We go up to KClO3. We go over to the left. Yeah, I would say 44 grams. So 44 grams plus or minus 2 on a regents. In other words, if you say 42 to 46, you'll get credit in that range. All right. Now, we drop the temperature to what? What did I say? 62, which puts us about here. So now I go up to here, and that's 30. So here's the concept I was hoping you would get. If you make this solution, and again, the rock candy lab should really help us see this. You're going to dissolve all that sugar up here. You're going to put it to the side of the room. Let it cool down. As it cools, it's going to precipitate. So from here to here, this will not dissolve anymore. It only holds 44 grams at 80. Once you decrease the temperature, it cannot hold 44 anymore. It starts to precipitate. So what's the answer?
14.
14 grams. 14 grams, because now at 62 it can only dissolve 30. Yet you had 44 in there. So 14 grams will precipitate. That makes sense? Good. All right. You can pack up. I'm going to play the video. It's only a couple minutes anyway. We should be able to get through it. Lights, please. I guess, Raymond. Oh, what is happening here?
I searched and searched, but there was no white tiger sighting.
He's not over there?
No, he's elusive.
That's funny.
It's hard to think of him like that, but he is.
Oh, you missed.
You got this. Now listen, he is the elusive white tiger. Right now, he's realizing that his genetic deficiency,
oh my.
all right, he's not genetically deficient, but white tigers are. Did you know all white tigers?
I don't know about the fishing. They just have
no,
recessive.
they are. There's something about the white tiger I read about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're less
they're like-
tigerish?
They might be blind or something. There's something.
Okay.
You'd have to look this up, but I'm pretty certain that actual white tigers are at like a severe disadvantage, unlike our white tiger.
Unlike our white tiger. This is funny because it's all being recorded.
Who's actually kind of at an advantage.
Yeah, it's the
anyways.
opposite.
Yes, the exact
Not
opposite.
like a racist.
And I was not saying that.
Yeah,
I
right.
was not saying
Hey,
that.
there he is!
Hey, I'm just giving you a shout out.
Well, watch the
I
YouTube
guess we'll watch the video on Monday. Because the white tiger's back.
So the actual white tigers are at some sort of a genetic disadvantage. I think they're either blind or like
Let's look this up right
have
now.
their brain or something.
Wow, this is good.
Here we go.
Please keep this on.
Alright.
I was looking for you the whole time.
Tigers.
I was hoping I meant to read it. I saw you
Genetically.
were upstairs when you walked over.
I've been looking for you for the last half an hour. Give me background. We talked to Mr. Larson. We talked to George's teacher, Mr.
I
Whalen.
can't spell deficient.
Hey, I have one of those too, but it wasn't as nice as yours. Yours
Yes, thank
is
you.
nicer, yeah. I actually have two of
Oh,
them. I actually have two of those.
The ones this year were really nice.
We're not even gonna watch the video.
White tigers are not a species. They are the result of a recessive gene. Breeding white tigers involves inbreeding individuals and often results in terrible genetic problems.
What is, yeah, but what, they have something that all of them share other than just the, there's something specific.
Yeah, well, they have recessive genes, but
Yes, but there's something that each one of them has because of that particular recessive condition. I want to tell you they're blind or there's
The
something.
phenotype remains unknown. The genetic basis of this phenotype remains
Isn't the
unknown.
phenotype from the way they look?
Yeah, because it's the physical. It's physical.
So listen, Zeke, the rarity
The
right
white
now is
tigers
actually
still
propelling
exist.
you to like a whole other level, man.
white tigers do not exist in the wild.
Oh, there it is.
That's what it was. It wasn't an actual.
This is it. All of this is being recorded.